I'm gonna record video, see what happens. Oh my god, it's live and I'm recording! Ha! Okay, what does it happen now? Okay. My recording. So cool. Okay. But I wonder if when I'm recording, if I can save it on my channel. I don't know. Oh, this is exciting. Okay. So, I've already been talking a shit ton about what's going on. But now I'm recording it! So I can save it! So, no idea. Y'all have no idea. Because I was wondering that. Because I was looking at my friend's Twitch channel. I'm like, why do you have videos that I don't? I've done this. But now I know why. And that's fun to me. Yeah, technology. I don't have like a user guide, which would be helpful for me because I am not the smartest crayon in the brightest crayon in the box. No, I'm not. So, if you're into the channel, my name is Lola, Lament, and this is Terrifying Tuesday. Yeah. As some of you may know, I am pregnant, 36 weeks, so 4 weeks until my son's born. I restarted, honey! I was like, Jesus! Because I discovered that I can record it, and that's exciting to me. He's gonna go blow his nose. My husband is a former deathmatch wrestler. So if you hear on this recording or see him in this video, that is my husband. And he can be gross sometimes, not all the time. So I'm going to pull up my notes again. Not that I forgot anything that I said before. This is cool now that I've, know that I can record it, and then I can have videos, and then people can watch these videos, and they can judge me. Please don't do it harshly. I'm very sensitive. Okay, so. Wait, am I still recording? I better still be recording. I am, yeah. Okay, cool beans. So. Originally, I started doing these videos, and I was talking about, feature-length films, like full-length movies. But because of the pregnancy, I'm getting a little tired, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'll still be putting out content. And I thought to myself, because I've got a few friends who are doing short films, super talented pictures, and flyover state pictures, that I would talk about short films. That ended up becoming feature-length films. The first movie I was going to talk about, that I am talking about, is Saw, or Saw.5, it's sometimes referred to. The movie would end up launching the entire Saw franchise, plus the Spiral spinoff. And I'm talking about this one first because I just saw recently that they're going to do yet another Saw movie. I don't know what they're going to do in it. I don't know how they're going to finish Jigsaw with success. There are things in Jigsaw that I did not agree with. The tornado bicycle thing shouldn't have been blood chunks, should have been cauterized or on fire. I seriously doubt that John Kramer would have been okay with that. Fucked up chart, mislabeling his cancer, and causing John Kramer to start off his whole, fucking Saw, his Jigsaw killing, to be okay with this guy surviving. I don't think he would. I don't. The short is from 2003, and it wasn't until, I think 2000 is when the first Saw movie came out, no, 2004. So there wasn't really a huge gap in time. Like these other short films that I'm going to end up talking about on the channel. Excuse me. It's shot in black and white. The short opens with a detective interviewing a very young man named David. And David is played by Lee Whannell, who is one of the guys who wrote the first Saw movie. Him and James Wan. On the table in front of between the two are a chair, and the detective wants to hear what happened from David. And because obviously, the detectives have already pieced together what they know but he wants to hear like what this guy has to say about it. So David gets this story with him coming home from work. He flashes to David bag and headphones out of a locker. It seems like he works at a hospital. He runs into a nurse on the way to the elevator who scolds him for smoking, which this was apparently back in the day. You have to be 50 to smoke. You could actually smoke in the building. Myself here by saying I remember back in the day where restaurants had smoking and non-smoking sections, so she says that, smoking in his life, and he says something to the effect of life not being worth living, and I'm just like, damn, dude, you realize you're in a Saw movie, right? You can't fucking say that shit. But at this point, in any Saw movie, we know that we can't say this shit. So, while waiting for the elevator to open, he's tapped on the shoulder and hit with a cudgel. And obviously, the hit him be like a precursor to the individuals that are in the robes and the pig mask. So, the doctor, the acolytes, that's what my husband said. I can't remember if there's a specific name for those characters. But the pig mask. The detective interrupts to ask what David does at the hospital, and David says he's basically a janitor. Exact. And he's like, no, I'm just an orderly. Which is interesting because the character of Zepp in the first movie was orderly, and I can't exactly remember what Zepp's punished. But he was. Reason, because everybody who's part of the Saw thing and has a tape is somebody who's being punished in some way or being tested. But anyway, he doesn't know why whoever picked him, but he was picked. I'll tell you why he was picked. It's because he said life was not worth living, and that just triggers him. He's just like, I gotta prove you wrong. So, David wakes up, and he wakes up with a spare trap on. And he's bound and restrained similarly to how Shawnee Smith's character Amanda was in the feature-length film. And I did mention on my Facebook page for Lola that this scene was reshot for the full-length movie. So it's basically shot for shot. After starting some TV set turns on to reveal our first glimpse of Billy the Puppet. And yeah, that was the puppet from Saw. His name's Billy. And he did show up in a few other movies by Winnell and Juan. And they include Death Sentence, Upgrade, The Invisible Man, which he's on some graffiti. You see the spirals first, and then you see... He's also in Insidious. It's when Patrick Wilson's character is talking to his mother, and it's like a direct board or a chalkboard or something. Behind him, on one side is a doodle of Billy the Puppet, and it's that scene right before he turns and there's a black demon. And then of course, Dead Silence, which is the ventriloquist who was accused of murdering children and turning one of them into a puppet, and she cursed the entire family. And there's a scene where old house, and it's a scene with all these puppets, and Billy the Puppet is there. And actually, it's interesting because the ventriloquist dummy that she uses, her main one, is named Billy. So, fun stuff. And Billy in Scary Movie 4, that's not a blink and you'll miss it kind of camp thing. And nor was it directed or had anything to do with James Wan or Lee Winnell. And there's also these comedy shorts on YouTube, which I highly recommend watching because they're funny. It's Living With and Working With Jigsaw. And it's Chris Capel. Capal. Okay. So, anyways, Billy then explains to David that he wants to play a game. And explains what the device on his head will do. Bear trap.
Google it.
Yeah, my husband says Google it. But essentially, it takes and it rips your head open. Okay. So like, the reverse bear trap is so iconic. Like, it's synonymous with the Saw series. Like, if you don't know any of the other traps, you know the reverse bear trap. And film, it's like this ceramic head that they bust open. In the first movie, it's a watermelon, which is a lot cruder and a lot cooler looking. Then it's used again in Saw 3D, where John's wife, ex-wife, I can't think of her name, but she puts the bad detective in it. Not, bad as in he's terrible at his job, but as in he's a corrupt detective who ended up becoming one of she puts him in that, and it springs, but he ends up breaking a window and stopping it from springing all the way, so he can pull himself out of it. And then the only time that you actually see it on somebody successfully is when he puts it on Kramer's ex-wife, and she ends up getting her head smashed open. Anyways, so Billy shows what the reverse bear trap will do, and he says to him, there is a dead cellmate in here with you who has the key inside them. So, decision, you can have the reverse bear trap go off on you, and this is what will happen to you, or you can get your key out of your dead cellmate. And at this point, the detective interrupts him again and is like, if I didn't notice the other body in this room until the timer went off. And David's like, and goes on that the man that he had just been injected with something that paralyzed him. And David says he knew. Because he didn't know. As he's looking around for stuff, as he's looking for the scalpel, into this man, he pulls up his shirt, and of course there's that question mark. And David's got the scalpel. The man's crying. He's not moving. He's not making any noise. But he's crying, and David does this. So, of course, David gets the key out. And so the scene goes back to David removing the reverse bear. And Billy the puppet strolls in on his big wheel, which I miss that portion in the Saw movies where he just kind of struts out on his little big wheel.
Is it a big wheel or a tricycle?
It's a tricycle. It's a tricycle, excuse me. In this movie, it was a big wheel. The short was a big wheel. But then it's a tricycle again. But this did look like a big wheel. Anyways.
Did it have the cool little power slide thing on the side?
Oh, I remember.
It's not a cool one, then. He got shit.
Anyways.
His mommy, daddy didn't bother.
But it was interesting to see that this proto-Billy was rocking a bowler-style hat. Because, once he's actually in the Saw series, he doesn't have a hat on. I don't know what happened to his hat. He looked good. It was scary.
I could just see him. He's rolling in with his little puppet legs and the bowler hat. And I just figured... Frog Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Hello, my lady.
Yeah!
And then, what was it? Spaceballs made fun of it.
Oh my god, I can't...
It was King.
And that frog has a name.
I can't... Yeah, because he was the original symbol for, like, Warner Brothers.
My phone died. Okay, yeah, what my husband's talking about is it's this frog.
Let me pull it up.
He's gonna pull it up.
Try to.
He's gonna try pulling it up. I don't know if we're gonna get it pulled up. Anyways, Proto Billy's rocking a hat. It's pretty cool. I don't know why you get rid of the hat. It's a nice hat.
His name is Michigan J. Frog.
Okay, Michigan. So, I was just imagining this Michigan J. Frog type Billy the Puppet with the bowler hat just being like, hello, madame. Let me right time again.
It's just, and I think that's why they take that off.
Which is why that's probably why they took the hat off.
I can just see, especially if they're showing legs paddling.
Right.
They probably looked a lot like they're like, oh my goodness.
Or like Crazy Legs Kermit from The Great Muppet Caper. No, that's not what it looked like, and that's never what the Billy the Puppet has ever looked like. Crazy Legs Kermit.
I think that'd be one.
Anyways, I missed him coming out on a bicycle thing. A tricycle thing. So anyways, Billy does his little stroll out, his little strut out on his big wheel, and he congratulates him on being alive. And it's that famous line of, some people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you, not anymore. This ends with David sobbing at the table with the detective. And that was the Saw show. Ended up making launching the Saw franchise and Lee Winnell went on to make more horror movies. Insidious, The Conjuring, Dead Silence, The Invisible Man, like time. Next week I will talk about another horror movie short. I don't know which one. There's a lot to choose from. I hope you enjoyed the short video. And if you started watching from the beginning of my video, before I started recording
You're
it,
a fucking trooper.
You are a trooper, and I appreciate you so much. But now that I know I can record these, I'm so excited about them. Maybe yeah. As always, I'm Lola. Take care of yourself. Do nice things for yourself. Remember, you cannot pour from so boundaries, and it's okay to put yourself first. Yeah, take time to refill your cup. You know, you can't give to others if you can't give it to yourself. Giggity. I will see you next Tuesday. Until then, stay spooky, stay safe, and remember, you are valued and loved.